to the Sad Dads Club podcast. Here's everybody's favorite sad dads, Jim and Foo.
I did get asked, where's my new show? Where's the show?
Really?
Yes. It was my son. But someone asked me, where is my new show? And I was like, I didn't we talk about this? Because
we talked about it right before we started recording.
Yeah.
And then we
never
went, all right, I'll see you to return the cart and fuck off and die and Merry Christmas. Right? And then we cut and then you went, hey,
shit.
we didn't really say what we were going to do Christmas.
And then also I think the intention was to just skip Christmas and do New Year's.
No.
Oh, we didn't agree on that?
That's why I didn't set up.
Oh, okay.
We went, well, it would be the same thing for, and I said, well, we could record Tuesday for New Year's.
Right, yes.
And we both kind of went,
because, I mean, honestly, we never have really taken any days. We've never really skipped weeks up until very recently. And we have never done 2 weeks in a row. And it just happened to be the way, because we record on a Wednesday.
Right.
It's Wednesday right now. So we record on a Wednesday, and both of those big holidays, Christmas
and New Year's
were on Wednesday this year. So for us, it was just like, but there's so much going on.
Yeah.
Between getting ready for Christmas and spending time with people and whatever. It just didn't. And then so on New Year's, I'm going about my day. I completely forget that we had I thought we had decided we were going to just record on New Year's Day.
Okay.
So, but then I didn't realize, because I had taken a bunch of time off work, like the days after Christmas and the days before New Year's.
Okay.
So I really was in this mode mentally where, like, I don't know what day of the week it is.
Yeah.
You know, like, I don't even know. Like, other than the fact that I knew, like, on Thursday, I'm going to work again. Thursday and Friday.
Right.
So Wednesday rolls around and I'm like, now my brain's starting to kick in about what day of the week it actually is. And I was like, oh, I work tomorrow. Tomorrow's Thursday. Today is Wednesday. And I think by this time it was like 9. I don't forget what time I messaged you.
You messaged me about 12.
It
was after midnight. You're like, I'm getting ready for bed and I feel really shitty.
Okay, it was midnight.
Did you set up the show?
Yeah.
And I went, no, man.
I know. So it totally blew my mind that, like, we had even talked about, you were just saying that we were going to do it on Tuesday. And I totally forgot that. Did you set up on Tuesday?
No. That was I offered, I mean, if you wanted to, because like you said, we've never, the days where we knew we weren't going to hit, we've generally tried to be like, well, we can record on a Thursday or a Tuesday or a Monday. And the quickie conversation we have, like, Christmas sucks this year, it's on and then the New Year's. I'm like, well, if you wanted, we could record on Tuesday. And the both of us just kind of went, and I went, zero fucks.
Because I couldn't even remember how that conversation went.
Yeah, because that's why I didn't know. Monday, I was not like, maybe he'll want to. I'll wait for a call. Or Tuesday, I'll set it up, but it's New Year's Eve, but fucking maybe he'll call. Zero fucks.
Yeah.
I went.
Well, yeah, because it would have been
off.
That would have been New Year's Eve. We would have been in here recording.
Right.
I don't think that would have worked.
Right. I would have been more entertained to do something Christmas Eve, but even then, I'm like, I don't give a fuck. Like zero.
Well, I mean, first of all, it's Christmas Eve and Christmas and New Year's Eve
and New
Year's Day.
Like
so
you're hammered New Year's Eve.
Those combination of days kind of spoiled our normal recording plans.
Yeah.
So what we would normally fall back to, we couldn't do. So our apologies.
Sorry about that.
Yeah.
And then the way, families, the way that it is with families, even if we didn't do it before the holiday and we're like, oh, we'll record on a Thursday or a Friday instead. The way that Christmas and holidays work with, like, the in-laws or the other side of a family.
Yeah.
Thursdays and Fridays or Saturdays for me were like toast anyway. So it was like, and then the same thing. Well, New Year's wasn't the same thing, but who knows if you had to juggle something for
we were
around.
I mean, I was smoking Cheez-Its. I had someone requested Cheez-Its.
Oh, shit.
And so I was smoking stuff, and then we were putting together other food to take up to my in-laws' house.
Yeah.
That was on New Year's Eve. So New Year's Eve and then New Year's Day, we were all kind of doing stuff.
Yeah.
And like, I wasn't really thinking much about it at all. And then it hit me. I think I was going to bed. Like, oh shit. Today's Wednesday.
Yeah. Nope. Didn't even,
right.
and I'm not even trying to like make you not feel by saying I didn't. I was under the impression as when you left and went, fuck, we didn't say that we were gonna take a hiatus. I was like already like, sweet, 2 weeks off. I'm gonna start filling gaps, and I'll see you I'll see you early January.
I mean, it is 100%. What it is. I mean, we've been doing this show for 6 years now. Is that bonkers?
Yeah.
And
this was the first time where we 100% minus your New Year's.
Yeah.
We were both like, it's okay.
Yeah.
Vacation.
Fine. Yeah. Yeah. Because previous, we'd always been a little bit like, oh, you're going out of the country? Well, we got to have time to like fill in.
Yeah.
And,
if you're going to be over there, then I'll have someone sit in. And, we were both like, it's okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's okay.
So I had.
Hey.
Sure, go for it.
Welcome to Sad Dad's Club Podcast episode. Fuck, I don't know.
I don't know either.
And I'm the Lord Fu.
Pre-apocalypse.
Yeah. Okay, go.
Show. The Sunday before Christmas.
Okay.
We had our own apocalypse to the tune of a toilet that just started leaking all over our bathroom floor. And I ended up having to pull a toilet and clean up the hole and put a new, new, in this
wax
case,
seal.
Not a not a wax ring in this case, because they have an alternative, which is a non-wax ring that lasts as long.
Silicone or something?
It's like it's almost like a foam. Like a squishy foam.
Okay.
It's kind of hard, and when you put the toilet in it, you actually compress it.
Okay.
And I was like, I was thinking about, what happened was, because I work from home and I'm in the summertime, and I'm like going to the bathroom and flushing the toilet, the water service line into the house is on the side of the house. It warms up in the morning as the sun's passing across the house, right?
Okay.
And the water gets hot. We actually have it takes a while for us to get cold water through the service.
Okay.
So the pipes heat up on the side of the house. We get hot water all day long. So I think flushing the toilet in the middle of the day in the summer, like normally I would be at work. No one would be home to flush the toilets while the water is hot.
Right.
But I'm home now. And so I'm flushing hot water through the bowl.
Okay, so your cold water line, by proxy of its location on the sunny wall, is hot water.
It ends up warming really bad.
Okay.
And it takes a while for it to cool down. And that while would be enough to fill the bowl and run until it's filled the bowl, right? So you get some overflow as it fills the bowl.
Right.
So now you're running hot water through the wax ring, and I think it just broke the wax ring down because it's just wax.
Right.
And then we have a leak. And, so I ended up having to reseat a toilet, drain it, turn off the water, unbolt it. I mean, just come on. And then I made a comment the other day, is my daughter was like, my toilet's being weird when she flushes the toilet.
Oh, yeah.
It just it just makes a hissing sound like after she flushes it for a while.
You're like,
so I pull the top off, and it turns out that the filler, it has like and this is a replacement stuff. So this has already been replaced in this toilet, but it's like a tower with a circle that rides the tower.
Right.
And
welcome back, baby.
It's like an air-filled donut that just rides up on down the water. Well, the top of it where it would the donut would go down.
Right.
The top of it is supposed to run water out to the hose, which runs into and fills the tank.
Right.
There's no water coming out of the hose, but it's spraying little bits of water out the top. So something is wrong with it.
Okay.
So now I have to fix that toilet. And the problem with that toilet is it's got a counter right above the bowl. Or not the bowl.
Our master bathroom. No. It's the guest bathroom does the same thing.
Like the counter runs right over the top of the fucking tank.
Who decided this shit?
And like putting my arm down in there, it's just not easy. So that toilet, I already had to repair this on my toilet in the master bathroom. But that toilet has a problem where the seals that are the seal between the tank and the bowl are also bad. Oh. Because it's the same age as the other toilet.
Right.
And I have already purchased a seal for that. So now I'm like, well, I can just remove the tank off the bowl and replace the seal and put it all back together.
Right.
And put all new hardware in it and fix that too. So it's just become toilet repair season.
Yeah, I was going to say toilet getting.
Yeah. And at one point I was like, I'm just going to go fucking buy a new toilet. Oh God, I'm just going to go I'm going to put a crack in it and say, oops.
You're like, daughter, you just need to turd somewhere else. Turd out of the house.
And what's funny is found out this a couple of days ago and then have now forgotten that I need to repair the toilet. That's how exciting repairing a toilet is.
Oh, you haven't actually fixed hers?
No.
Oh,
no.
You just know that
I know that it needs to be fixed.
She using yours then?
Now what happens is it eventually does fill the bowl, but it's not going out the fill tube.
Oh.
So it's just like, and it sprays sort of out the top, and eventually it does fill the bowl, and then it turns off.
Oh, eventually.
Yeah, eventually it will, but it just hisses a lot.
So you can't double whammy. Yeah. No party hosting where people might be back to back.
Oh, yeah. Toilet. If we're back to back and we're having a problem.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, no parties in my
No. Could you imagine? Woo!
It'd be like, fuck, someone just dropped a deuce in there.
Dry dookie on the second man in. You're like, no!
Yeah, because it literally takes it probably 25 minutes to fill or something. Just going... So anyway, that's a pain in the butt.
Dry docking. Fat turd. There's just an expectation the bowl's full.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, because not only is the tank not full, but the bowl's not full because it's barely getting any water.
Yeah.
So luckily that bathroom gets less use than my bathroom.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Because mom and dad use theirs.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was fun. Right before Christmas, was I happy? No. I was not happy. So anyway, yeah.
Wow, shit.
Nothing better than a pre-Christmas shitter fix.
Yeah.
Nothing quite says Christmas like fixing the
last minute
shitter.
Gift buying at Home Depot. Sir, what kind of stocking stuffers are you doing? You're like, nope, shitter's broke.
Everyone's getting a flusher.
Yeah, everyone's getting. Fuck, I'm trying to think of the name.
I need a new valve.
Yeah. You got any gaskets? I need some wax rings and gasket stocking stuffers.
These are from my pants. So anyway, yeah. Anyway,
hot damn.
Yeah.
Any interesting Christmas gifts? Don't say a meter. Because you're full up.
No. Yeah, that was actually a joke. Christmas time. I got a body pillow for Christmas.
Did you?
Oh, my gosh. That's such a beautiful thing.
I'm telling you.
I love it.
Is it
I love it.
Adjustable? Like you can take some filler out if it's...
I mean, I don't know.
Or is it like, is it little niblets of foam, or is it like a giant memory foam?
It's
thingy?
not memory foam, I don't think.
Pillow thing.
I don't know what's actually stuffed inside of it, but it's firm, and it was packed in a little. It came in like a sausage tube.
Yeah.
That you cut open, and it didn't open super fast. I thought it was going to be all dramatic because we all watched it, and it just sort of like opened and then unrolled, and I was like, oh, well, that was sort of
like that
exciting.
TikTok of that girl that's like cutting the strap on her like memory foam mattress or something, and it.
Oh yeah,
and you're like,
because we had that with Mellie's mattress when we moved her to Portland.
Yeah,
it's like. Cut it and then it goes quick.
Yeah.
But I really like sleeping with that thing. It's to have something between my legs.
Yep.
And to also have something where my arms aren't squeezed down.
Yep.
Makes a big difference.
So mine is adjustable. So it has like almost like 1 inch by 1 inch memory foam like cubes.
Okay.
Ish. That a little softer than a memory foam. And I've had mine probably for a good 3 to 4 months. But it was a little bit too big.
Okay.
So somewhere about early December, I think when Venus and I were cleaning bed sheets and pillowcases, I yanked out like a small garbage bag of stuff,
redistribute,
and so it made it a little bit less because it was like it was just a little bit too much for me between my legs to like. That's what she said. We're back. It was just a little too much, and then the amount I took out was like perfect.
Okay,
and it was also just a little too heavy. When I wasn't on my side, I would put it between my legs to simulate a dog. Sad. A dog splaying my legs.
Yeah.
It was too heavy where it was before, but now it was perfect.
Just right.
My dad stopped by, I don't know, somewhere before Christmas, complaining that he had ripped a pillow himself, and he asked Venus, like, do you know a place that sells like pillow filler? And I went, fuck, because Venus saved all the niblets. I was ready to shit can them.
Yeah.
And Venus saved, she's like, I'll make a throw pillow for the couch or something somewhere. So we had this, as we were cleaning the house.
Bag of foam?
Yeah, we had this bag of memory foam, and my dad was like, rah, 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 and we went,
we got it.
See need, fill a need, baby.
Yeah.
So anyway, but mine's adjustable. I, too, for Christmas, I got... It's effectively an L pillow.
Okay.
Because while the memory foam one, the body pillow one is like, I kind of keep it at my legs for like a weighted pressure thing. I have found that when I roll over, my like shoulders and arms compress, and then it's like it gets uncomfortable. Like I start over pressing.
So you're saying that the body pillow, most of it is you keep down at your legs end.
Yes,
and you don't keep it up at your arms.
Right.
So it doesn't stretch from your legs up to your arms.
It is. It could if I tucked it. If I put some of it at my knees, I could squeeze it like a small person.
Yeah. I mean, which is essentially what I do.
As I toss and turn. Eventually, it would flop or get off the bed. I have been able to keep it on the bed if I treat it like a dog and like at my legs.
Yeah.
And then it kind of just floats around at my legs, but gives me the weight. But that removed the spooning thing that kind of kept my shoulders wide and like support on my neck. So Venus got me one that's like it's like a bar at your neck, but then it curves so that way when I roll over, it's only a 90. So if I roll over to my right hand side, I have something that cups my neck.
So
and
it's
head.
an upside down L.
Yeah.
The short side being for your head,
and it's just long enough that I could like grab it with my arms.
Yeah.
It's like just long enough.
Yeah.
It's perfect. And it also allows me to kind of lean my head to the side, but not like all
Cricket.
like not all the way.
Yeah.
I found it's been amazing. Could it be a little bit more supportive at my neck? Yes, but I have like a buckwheat pillow that I kind of put there, and it fills the gap. It's like a perfect. I've solved. If there was one pillow, I'm sure that would probably be perfect. But I have like.
You need a really long L-shaped pillow.
Like, but then I couldn't because I like to, like, even though the two of us together generate too much fucking body heat.
Yes.
As we get at 50-ish, I like to at least have a hand in some vicinity of Venus.
Yeah.
It's like a comfort thing. So if I were to have something fully between us, it would be weird. So the smaller L, the smaller L with a weighted body pillow down at my feet allows me to still like have a security comfort, able to touch her all in like one.
Nice.
Yeah. So pillows.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah.
The notable thing I'm going to tell you, because this leads into a story.
Okay, go.
Got a 2 terabyte Western Digital Black disc for the PS5.
Okay.
So that's so funny. I'm like, oh, easy. I've seen videos on how to do this. And I go to my PS5 to do the thing, and it's completely different from the videos that I have seen.
Oh, shit.
Yeah,
really?
I'm like, what the fuck? There's a couple of different, because I think mine's the slim with the disc.
Oh.
Right, and so it's different. It's got a different design. So once I figured that out, I was like, okay, well, how do I get the case off? So anyway, so I'm like really like trying to struggle. I'm struggling a little bit trying to get the case off.
Okay.
So the headset that Chandler bought me for my birthday or Father's Day, one of the two.
Yeah.
Has a little USB
Bluetooth
dongle.
Yeah.
That's not Bluetooth. It's I think they call it Lightning or something.
Okay.
But it's the communication dongle for the headset.
Okay.
And it's on the back of the PS5. Well, in my jockeying, trying to figure out how to get the case open, which turned out to be way easier than I thought, I realized that I had put some pressure. I didn't take it off.
Oh.
And I had put some pressure on it.
Okay.
And I was like, ooh, that wasn't good. I should probably take that off. So I take it off. Install the PS5 storage, put it all back together, put the PS5 back in its place. Oh, shit, I got to put the dongle back, put that back. And then realize also that now my headset doesn't work.
Uh-oh. Okay.
So then I'm like troubleshooting the headset. What did I do? Did I not plug it into the right port? Is it supposed to be in a specific port? No, I don't think so. It doesn't show, like, as soon as that dongle gets put into the USB port, it shows up as a device, even if the headset's not on.
Yeah.
It shows up as a headset device and mic in the software settings on the PS5.
Right.
Well, that doesn't show up at all. And I'm like, this isn't good. So I start playing around with it, and I can't get it to work. I'm unplugging and plugging it in. I take it out, and sure as shit, the USB connector's like tweaked.
On the dongle?
On the little dongle.
Okay.
I'm like, fuck. So I put it back in there, and I just put pressure on it, and it comes back.
Oh.
And I go, damn it, I broke it. I broke the damn thing. So now I'm like, I'm going to buy another one, and I feel bad because Chandler bought it for me.
Mm-hmm.
So I start looking, how much is it? I don't know, it's like $40 or $45 or something.
Just for the dongle?
No, for a whole new headset because you can't buy the replacement dongle.
Oh,
so,
okay.
Thanks, Logitech, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm like, shit. And then it hits me. Well, Chandler bought this for me. When he buys electronics, he typically buys them at Best Buy. And when he buys them at Best Buy, he uses his father-in-law's whatever Best Buy service account. He has an account that he pays monthly for that when you buy anything with his account, it comes with the 2-year protection.
Oh.
And so I send Chandler a message. I'm like, did you happen to buy this headset from Best Buy with the protection? And he's like, yes, I did. And I'm like, all right, well, I broke it. So then we went to Best Buy. They don't even have that headset anymore. It's only been 6 months.
Oh.
And so that's fine. They just return it and give you a Best Buy card.
Mm-hmm.
And then we went and looked at all the headsets, and I just picked out something that was, I think it was like $20 more, $23 more or something. I'm like, I'll pick up the difference. It doesn't bother me at all.
But Daddy needs a headset.
But I need a headset.
Right.
Realizing that it does a couple of things. It allows me to play without really occupying the entire space with the sound of the game.
Right.
Which a lot of times is shootouts in Red Dead or playing GTA 5. And there's a lot of shit going on. And the girls don't want to have to listen to that.
Right.
So that's part of it. The other part of it is that the spatial audio in the headsets is superior to the surround sound.
Sure.
It's much closer. You hear everything much more clear than you would if it was on the surround. So I'm like, I need a headset. So I ended up getting a Razer.
Oh yeah.
I don't know, Barracuda X or something like that.
That may be the one I got for Venus.
Yeah.
I
think it was $60 or something.
Is it that may be. Is it like a cloth ear cup or a leather pleather ear cup?
I don't remember off the top of my head.
I think
but it has the removable boom mic.
Yeah. I think that's the same one I got for Venus.
Nice headset.
That was the one like her tech tried to like. Ooh,
oh, yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm amazed that you can spend $200 or $300 on a headset. As much as a console costs is how much some of these headsets cost.
Yeah.
I was blown away. I had no idea how expensive they can get. So, I don't need anything super expensive, but I definitely wanted something better than I think Logitech was providing me, because I did have problems with that headset. From the get-go. I had problems.
You mentioned a couple times.
Yeah, I had a problem where when you powered it on, the audio level would just be really quiet.
That's right.
And then I would have to power it off and power it back on. And the other problem I had with it every single time I used them was that it didn't remember what the volume setting was the last time, which was always at the very top because they didn't get loud enough. And it has a switch in it for the decibel level of the headset, and you can limit it for kids. And it was set at the highest decibel level, and it wasn't very loud at all, even when it was working correctly. So I was I just would put up with it, but I'm happy with the new headset. Works perfect.
And the volume is good.
Volume is a rolling physical dial on the side, which I love.
I don't know what Venus's is. Maybe it's not, but the price point sounds similar to the Razer one I got Venus.
Yeah, very good headset. Very impressed with it. So thanks for the storage and also the new headset. And I ended up finding GTA 5 was on sale at Best Buy for $14.
What city is that one in?
Los Santos.
Okay.
And that game, first of all, I have played GTA before.
Yeah.
But GTA 5, and I know 6 is coming, which is the reason why it's discounted right now.
Probably, yeah.
And I only paid $14 for it at Best Buy. I just went and picked it up. That is some fun shit.
A lot of those open world things, especially all of those Grand Theft ones, have huge scoping playable options.
Yes.
Like of all play speeds.
You open up the map and there's just dozens of places to go and stuff to do all the time.
Yes.
Man, it is just crazy. It's crazy.
We picked up Baldur's Gate 3.
Okay.
So that is essentially a Dungeons and Dragons rule-based game. Last year was Game of the Year.
Okay.
In Piper and I's playing of Dungeons and Dragons at Mike's. It was something that, somewhere about October, she came into the office and she was like, something, Baldur's Gate 3. And I went,
oh?
Are you interested?
Ooh?
I mean, I play Destiny all the time, but I know in my game or news intake that it was well received.
It's the hot shit.
Yeah, it ran last year. It ran the table as far as game awards. Like even people who weren't necessarily Dungeons and Dragons aware. The game was so well polished and so well done that, like I said, it Game of the Year. It took in fans that are not Dungeons and Dragons people.
Yeah.
So her coming to me and be like, fucking Baldur's Gate, but she was busy with school. So she said, I can't buy this until I'm done with this semester, which was December 13th. And I was like, fucking, that's crazy you mentioned that because, the Destiny is starting to run some of its course and I'm looking to pick up a new game. So I'm going to get it. And she was like, no, we should play it together. It's co-op, up to 4 players co-op.
So what's the style of the game? Is it like a MMRP or is it? I don't know much about it. I've heard of it. I just don't know much about it.
Think of it as far as like story terms. It's kind of like Red Dead. So I'm trying to think of like the perspective is like a top down. You're kind of looking, so you can see all of your people on a map.
Okay.
So it's not. I think Red Dead, you're like almost over the shoulder, aren't you? Sort of.
I mean, you can change
guy in the.
Yeah, you can change your camera views.
This is like
stuff,
a little bit more like third person view, so you can see you're controlling up to 4 people in your party.
I see.
But the story expansiveness and like options are like Red Dead or Grand Theft Auto.
Dead's bonkers.
So you can go in multiple places on the map, some of which are maybe above your pay grade, and you're going to get your ass handed to you.
Mm-hmm.
And similar to Red Dead or like Mass Effects or Grand Theft Auto, the story beats may be different depending on your choices.
Yeah.
So I was not at the time of the original conversation. You can't get it because I want to play it with you. And I'm like, oh, okay. And then somewhere about maybe a couple weeks later, Zander comes in and he's like, Piper and I are drawing about Baldur's Gate. And, when you get done with the semester, Zander, I'd play that. So then it became the 3 of us.
So does that mean you all have to buy a copy?
Yes.
That fucking sucks.
Yes.
That sucks so bad.
But Zander was excited too.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, I got Steam.
That's like $180.
Yeah, I got Steam credits.
Just a game.
Yes. I got Steam credits. And Piper's like, absolutely not. No one can play this until we can all play it. Because if one of us or 2 of us start drawing about quest lines or stories or characters,
then it's like spoiler shit.
Yeah, then it's going to be distracting to her, and she's just focused at school. And I'm like, well, I can't have you playing this either. I mean, I could get away with it, but to be fair to. But then the 3 of us are all talking about this Dungeons and Dragons game, and then Venus is like, well, I don't want to be left out.
Oh, here we go. $240.
Right? So then it was like, well, is this finally the way?
Is there a family license pack?
Is there a way? This is the way to get Venus perhaps toe dipped into the dungeon, because Zander, Piper, and I will completely have a Dungeons and Dragons conversation, and it just like almost ostracizes Venus. Like I don't get it. I don't understand what's going on. What the fuck?
Right.
But Venus also loves the Diablo series of games. So that kind of like orientation and like loot stuff. And she generally liked the questing and the story stuff of the Diablo series. So this is kind of in that vein, and it was like, okay, this might be how we get the inclusion of Mom, Venus, into the Dungeons and Dragons stuff. So I'm like, well, if you're interested in it, we've got months because Christmas is down the road.
Yeah.
I'm actually watching Steam for sales because my intention was, well, I'll get it for everyone for Christmas, but I'm just watching to see because it would go down to $25, $24.99 or something if you caught it Black Friday. I mean, this is how far back the conversation was. So I was watching Black Friday, Cyber Monday, fucking game, sure.
Well, the nice thing, too, is on Steam, you can, like, say, watch this game or put it on your wish list or whatever, and it'll tell you when it's on sale.
So I had that, somewhere around around the semester end, Piper comes into the office and she says, I was watching and it wasn't on sale from the one that we saw, somewhere around Thanksgiving. And I went, okay, so I actually,
now what is it, $70 or something?
I think it was $49.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah, like normal, no gim, normal vanilla, $49. But early December, I got the notification that it was down at like the $24 mark, and so I
buy.
I put two copies, one for both the kids in my cart, but then didn't pull the trigger because I got distracted.
Oh.
And I think at some point I'd been talking to Venus about it. I'm like, okay, well, Steam allows you to do a gift on date.
Oh.
So I could have bought it and then said, send the license codes to your friend Steam account friends on December 13th at X time. You can do it even by time. So I'm like, I should do that. And then I get distracted. So Piper comes in somewhere near her semester thing. She's like, I never found it. And I wheeled over to the window with it. And I went, I've actually found it on sale for this price. And it's been in my cart for like a week. She's like, well, that's not what the price is now.
Uh-oh.
And I went, oh.
And then refresh.
Well, I'm like, well, I don't want to touch it. I'm just going to hit. I'm like, I'm going to give this to you, but you can't use this until Friday. And I said, and I'll put so I hit buy just to see if it would chuck it back up to normal, so that way I could just back out and be like, well, fuck, I missed it.
Yeah.
It didn't. It gave it two copies at the sale price. And she's like, well, why did you put your own in here? And I went, well, this wasn't for me. This was for you and your brother. So I was buying you and your brother's copy. So I sent her the code to come off like a Friday at like 6 a.m. I'm like, I'd like to see you get up at 6 a.m. to install this bitch. Like, let's.
Now, what is she playing on?
Her laptop will run it.
Oh, okay.
So her PC laptop will run it.
Okay.
But her brother, who was in school that day, I'm like, well, I'll set his code to be at 4 p.m. to get sent to him at 4 p.m. when he walks home from school.
And also he wants a Steam Deck.
Right, something. So the Friday comes and they go off. Anyway, so they both get their codes and they go through the weekend. I think they got all the way to Sunday and they both had installed it and started playing it. And I'm like, oh, that sounds fun. Looks like you guys are having a good time. And then I think Venus said, well, if I buy you a copy and you buy me a copy, then we could all play before the weekend is over. And I went, well, okay. So I'm like in the office. I'm like, she had to make a fucking Steam account or recover hers or whatever it was.
Yeah.
So then by the end of Sunday before Christmas, we had
You guys were all playing Baldur's Gate 3 and I was setting a toilet.
Yes. That is exactly what was happening.
God damn it.
And it's been certainly for Piper, like your enthusiasm for Red Dead, this like has consumed like Piper's free time in like playing. She is And when her brother started, once Zander was on Christmas break, the stories and quest line disparities between the two and how they play is very reminiscent of when I was playing the original Mass Effect trilogy and my 20, 30-year-old friends that were doing it. Completely, like the storytelling of, so what happened when you got to this guy? Well, I haven't gotten to this guy. I went to this guy. Oh, I was at that guy. What happened? Oh, I fucking killed that guy. And she's like, oh, man, he's in my party.
Oh, my God.
So the funny ha-has.
Differences.
Right. Yeah. And there are like puzzles and ways to get around different, like multiple routes to get to the same destination. Listening to them talk about how they got to an end result is fascinating. It's like peak gaming. Yeah. If you're a gamer, these are the stories that gamers love to be talking about. It's been super fun. Super fun.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's fun. Also got a copy of Zelda Echose of Wisdom. Is that the name of the
that the newest one?
The newest, like...
Yeah.
I consider it a little Zelda game.
Yeah.
Got that. I've been playing that on the Switch.
Yeah.
That's actually very well done little game.
I thought, that one did well. It's like a not full-blown Zelda.
Yeah, it's nothing like the other whatever.
Side-scroller? No. I can't...
It's like a traditional, like non-MMRP version of Zelda.
Yeah.
But the graphics are punched up in it.
Oh, okay.
It's cool. They've done a good job.
Yeah.
And it's fun. I played the shit out of it, actually.
Good.
And I haven't been playing much Red Dead because I've been playing GTA.
Yeah. Slapping your hose?
Oh, yeah. All of it. Buying property.
Running red lights.
Oh my God! Yes, stealing picking up cars with my truck whilst people are still in them.
Hey, you're going for a ride, fucker.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So yeah, that's been doing a bunch of that. But man, what a busy couple of weeks! It seems like it was nothing and something all at the same time. I don't know how to describe it. It's just very odd time.
It was a little bit weird because Venus, she had a day in front. She didn't have Christmas the day before. She didn't have Christmas. I don't think she had Christmas Eve off.
Most people don't seem to get Christmas
Eve off. She traded off with what her coworkers, like, if you've got kids, and my kids are here, so do you need the time around the holiday off? Whereas I, pretty much from the 18th till the 5th, I was off.
Yeah.
So it was a little bit like, well, I'm fucking doing stuff and I'll, around the house and whatever. But Venus had more work days in between. So it was, I don't know. I felt like probably this year was one of the first years where maybe it had to do with the rain. So I didn't have a lot of outside errands to do. I actually felt like I kind of got a break, which is weird. Because, my birthday's at the front end of the month, then there's Christmas, then there's Zander's birthday is right after Christmas. In-law, holiday, hopscotching, and then New Year's itself. I didn't feel too stretched thin. I actually felt like, I felt like I kind of got a break in there. I went snowboarding at least once, so that was nice.
Nice.
Zander's birthday, we did, he went over to a trampoline place that's over there by the Auto Mall. Yes, Auto Mall.
There's one by the Auto Mall?
Yeah. Sky Zone?
Is that, that's by the...
There's a Home Depot over there. There's a fitness center. There's the Honda Power Sports.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like across
from the auto mall.
Yeah,
the
across
entrance.
from.
Yep.
I didn't know that one was there.
By John's Incredible.
Yes.
Yep.
The one I thought we were going to as we were leaving the house was the one that was up by
Industrial.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's not there anymore.
Oh.
They turned that into indoor pickleball courts. So the basketball courts, I can't. The name of the basketball court, I forgot it like 5 times since trying to recall the name of the.
Well, the one in Rancho Cordova was called Basketball Town, and that one was called.
Shit.
I can't remember either.
They turned the trampoline place into indoor pickleball courts.
Okay.
So as we're leaving, and Venus is like making a right turn out of here, I'm like,
where are you going?
You're going the long way? Like, what? She's like, no, it's Sky Zone. It's over by John. I'm like, I don't know where the fuck we're going. And
I just live here.
One of the young ladies that was going to the trampolines that we were covering as part of the party.
Yeah.
The night before at another birthday party out by up off of Wood Creek, they were playing like nighttime glow stick tag or something, and she in the wet ground that we had because of the rain, like twisted her ankle. So then it was, well, you could just take her place. I'm like, okay, sure, I'll fucking go bounce around. Like, I've been trampolining before, so I'm like, oh, fucking why not? Yeah. Then as we were getting there, I started to get, like, old man cold feet. Like, I don't need to be jumping with the kids. Like, I'm fucking 49.
Yeah.
I mean, I can.
Lucky.
But I don't, Zander's not 11, so it's, he's probably just going to be hanging out with, and I'm like, as we're like walking up to the thing, I'm like, I don't know. I don't need to jump. It's okay. Like, and Zander he was like, yeah, you should fucking go.
My judgment would be, are there other parents going?
Right.
Yeah.
No, I was going to be in our party, I would be the only old person jumping.
Right.
So I'm like, Venus is like doing the pay thing, and I'm just like, I don't, and plus that place, not unlike the one off Industrial, when we got in there, it was a whole shitload of, 18 and unders, and there was a way more proportional amount of probably 16 and unders.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, this is a bad idea.
Yeah.
Like, I quadruple weight some of these kids. I'm going to get on a trampoline and put some little shit into the
put
scene.
my teeth in the back of someone's head on accident.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm like, because the last time I went trampolining, which was a couple of years ago, I had a trampoline all to myself, and I was doing backflips. I'm like, fucking, now's the time to, like, see what the old guy can say. So I'm doing backflips. I'm like, fucking sweet. This was not that. There were kids all over the place. So I'm like, all right. Venus hands me fucking socks. She's like, I'm going to dispose of the styrofoam in the back of the car. Have fun. I'm like, oh, man.
She already paid.
Yeah. So, I'm going to say kids, but they're young adults at this point.
Yeah.
They walk, I think it was Zander, a young man, Alan, a Moth, and me. So it wasn't like a party anymore. It was like the 3 of the homies and me. So I put on the socks, and you walk up into the trampoline area, and there's like 3 baskets, like basketball baskets of varying heights with the trampoline. I'm like, well, as long as there's no one doing that, I'll take a Nerf basketball and
I'll dunk on some kid's ass.
I'll dunk the basketball with the usage of a trampoline. Sure, fucking why not? But then there were kids doing their own little dunkings.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, now that's taken. So I kind of just watched for a bit. There were no other adults on the trampolines. I'm like, I feel creepy in these fucking socks. But all 3 of them went into what was like a netted off dodgeball space.
Oh.
So I'm like, I was just watching them. My son, when you get here, son, you'll know I'm being honest. He is not athletically inclined. Neither were his 2 friends for the most part. So watching them throw the Nerf-ish dodge balls at each other was entertaining to me because they're band kids, okay? If you know, you know. But there wasn't a lot of kids in there. There was probably 15 or so of probably 9 to what would be 17. The way that they were staggering themselves, on occasion, a whole trampoline would free up. I'm like, you know what? I'll just go in there and just bounce.
You'll be the guy on that trampoline.
Right. I'll be the guy on the trampoline. If anything, I'm burning calories.
Yeah.
That's what I'm looking for. I'm just going to burn some calories. And if a ball comes my way, I'll just hand it off. I got to hand it off to kids. They migrate around. A trampoline right near the fucking entrance of the net frees up. I'm like, I don't have to.
Here I go.
I don't have to cross any kids. I don't have to look like fucking, you know. So I come in, make an immediate right, get on the trampoline, and I'm just bouncing. No one's paying me any mind until some like 13, 14-year-old little shit boy is like, I'm going to hit the old guy. So he chucks me a ball, of which I just palm it in like a talon grip right to my, like, okay. And I chuck it. I'm like,
you're like, did you want your forehead to say Voight on it?
Yeah, I'm gonna put you in the dirt. You know. But he was like funny haha about it as I caught it, and I just kind of chucked it and I'm like, I'll throw it. If I'm gonna throw this, I'm gonna throw it at one of the 3 people that I actually know. You know. So I chuck it at his friend Alan. It's across the way, and you know I'm quarter speed at best. Yeah. Listen, if I want to huck this fucker, I can huck it. So, you know, occasionally ball comes my way. I'm chucking it. Eventually, the kids, they bounce because there's also a jousting balance beam with like airbag jousting pugil sticks.
Yeah.
So they take off. So that removes. Now there's a lot of trampolines in the dodgeball space. I just move closer to the exit, right next to the net. No one's bothering me. But I'm like, I'll just keep bouncing. I'll try and out-bounce some of these little kids in here with all this fucking energy. So I'm working up a sweat. I'm bouncing. Ball comes my way. I kick it to a kid. Ball comes my way. Kick it to a kid. Every once in a while, a young guy who comes in thinks he's the hot sauce and he wants to tag the old guy, chucks a ball at me with intent. I'm like, good. Nice one. Fucking. It all went sideways.
Oh, no.
When one of these 13, 14-year-olds starts throwing heat at this probably, 11 to 12-year-old young lady, of which she was doing fine on her own. This little girl had better hands than most of the boys. She was catching, chucking with some speed, but these 2 to 3 year older boys, I don't know if she hit one when I wasn't looking.
Yeah. They
started trying to bean this little girl. And I'm like,
did they know her?
I don't think so. Like, they kind of came in at a party and she was already in. So the age disparity and how they came in and then eventually left was
suggested that they didn't.
They were not. They were just, fucking, she's throwing and got me or whatever. So they start really trying to hit her. Like, hit her. I'm like, okay, I'm watching. You got to calm down. Eventually, one of them, fucking, I'm not looking. Fair and square, I'm not looking. I don't know if it slipped out of one of their hands, but I took up, like it was like a Nerf ball. You would probably know the consistency. So it feels like a light slap. I'm not looking. It hits me in the face. You got me good. I chuck it down the way, and the little girl misses it, and it bounces across. Little shit boy picks up the ball, and because she went to grab for it, she's kind of like at the median.
They're face to face.
They're face to face. And this boy takes the ball that's rolling, and he puts hotness right point blank. And it hits her like right in the gut, and like I can hear her like wind knocked out. She didn't cry or anything, but you could tell she then like took a break. Okay, see, now we have a problem. So the ball rolls over. I'm waiting. There's like a couple turns in between. I get a ball. And I managed, like, I only need one throw, Jim.
You're just like, any parents looking?
Yeah. I only need one throw. And I would like to tell you that I could fabricate this and that I missed, but I didn't. I put heat while this little shit was jumping from another kid's ball, and it did the feet out from under him.
Oh.
And he did a face bounce on the trampoline. And I went, and I'm done. So
wow,
it was awesome. I'm like, you know what? Yep. Now I got to get the fuck out of here before someone. I got to get out of here
before the cops show.
Yeah, right?
Venus, I'm ready to go.
Yeah, we gotta go. So
you're done with your fucking styrofoam.
Yeah, I eventually get asked to do the pugil stick thing to face off against my son.
Yeah,
of which he's falling over without me even having to hit him because. Yeah, he can't even maintain balance on this beam. I'm like, this feels like punching,
a baby.
Yeah, this is bad. So then, I'm just kind of like tapping, and he's bound anyway. So we call it a draw. I go looking for my wife because, again, the cops maybe, I don't know. So I tell her, I'm like, yeah, I had one. We were in the dodgeball, and I let one kid have it. And she's like, oh. I'm like,
well.
But I was fucking, and I'm making jokes. I'm like, he had it coming. So then the party's over. We're walking to the car, and Venus asked Zander, did you have a good time? He's like, oh, yeah. Dad was doming kids. I went, what the fuck? I was not. He's like, oh, man. He hit some kid, and he fucking fell right on his. I'm like,
all true.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't that.
Just one.
Well, I guess it was the one kid, but he's conveying it like I was. Anyway,
oh, yeah.
I
like
assure you.
Hardcore targeting him or something.
Yeah, no. I mean, he had it coming, but I only needed one shot.
That's
anyway,
funny.
It was quite funny.
Whose party was that?
Zander's. He was 17.
Oh, that's right. It was Zander's party. That's
17.
fun. So were there other kids there for his party, or was it just you guys?
It was just two of his friends, him.
Okay.
And the old guy.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Did you cook anything interesting over the holiday?
Did I cook anything? Well, I told you.
You smoked Cheez-Its.
I smoked Cheez-Its. I didn't cook much. There just wasn't a need for it.
Yeah.
I did make... with my leftover artichoke dip out on the griddle.
Yeah.
I told you about that. I made scrambled eggs and artichoke dip burritos. No, quesadillas on my griddle. That was delicious. How
many did you make?
3. One for me, one for Shan, and one for Melly.
Oh, yeah, because they do eggs.
Yeah.
Wait, I thought you put meat in yours. Sirloin. You said sirloin, didn't you?
That was in a burrito.
Okay.
That was in a day or two before.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you made something. Wait.
So it was New Year's Eve. I made artichoke dip.
Right.
My artichoke dip.
Right.
And had I made 2 artichoke dips, one spicy and one not spicy.
Ooh.
One for the in-laws and one for myself.
Nice.
And the spicy stuff came home, so we had a bunch of it left over.
Mm-hmm.
And we had eggs and big tortillas. Big tortillas. So I was like, let's do quesadillas.
Okay.
And so I just took eggs out, put the artichoke dip, which is basically like cheese and artichokes, essentially.
Yeah.
And so get it melting on there and then kind of make a circle in the center of it and then put the scrambled eggs in the middle and get it all scrambled together. and then throw the tortillas down, put some of the mix in there, fold it over, griddle it on both sides so it's nice and crispy. Man, it was so good.
Yeah.
But I didn't really make anything remarkable. I didn't do like prime rib or...
Yeah.
I didn't smoke anything spectacular or nothing.
We were making I made a joke. There's a running Bronco Raptor, Ford Raptor joke in the house. Like, is someone for Christmas? Am I getting a Bronco? Anyway.
Yeah.
So, I was making a joke with Venus about gift stuff with her dad. And she was, I think, prepping to make like her cookies that she gives to all of the employees for Golden Bears. Like she gives them all out tins of cookies. And I said something like, "Man, what kind of cookie do I have to make your dad or something to get in his good graces for a Bronco Raptor or something like that?" And she's like, "Oh, you're already my dad's favorite." I'm like, "I'm the only son-in-law he has. I have to be his favorite, and he's my favorite father-in-law." And she's like, "Well, if you could shortbread cookies."
Oh yeah.
She said that he had a customer on his, customer for Golden Bear that would make like traditional Scottish shortbread cookies,
just like in the show.
Yeah, that were, they were his favorite. Like this is the peak thing. I'm like, well, I've made like when Ted Lasso was a thing. I'm like, I dabbled with the shortbread. Like I made a couple batches, just to see.
That sounds really good.
It's a very simple recipe, and that's like the whole thing, right? It's like a comfort food cookie.
Yeah, and you don't want to do too much with it. They're supposed to be simple.
Right.
Yeah.
So I've made a couple batches, but it's one of those things that I was telling her, like when you go looking for Scottish shortbread cookie recipes and you start getting into like authentic stuff, there are a lot of it's like Czechoslovakians and Kolaches. The grandmas that had these recipes all had almost family nuances to ratios, bake times, what they were baking in or on, and how they were cutting the cookies, and the cook times. And blah, blah, blah. So, after making like a couple iterations of them months and months ago, it's like, oh fuck, this is like a whole thing. You got to just take a step back. So I hadn't made any in quite a while. Nat, we had a cookie thing. You and I were both making cookies apparently at the same time.
That's right. I did make Christmas cookies on New Year's. For whatever reason, I got a hair at my ass. I was trying 2 different types of chocolate chip cookie recipes. Mm-hmm. So that was this whole like history spawn of like making cookies. What kind of cookie did I make your day? Venus basically said they have a family recipe for shortbread cookies. You make that for my dad, and it nails it. Like you could. Like, okay, so she pulls it out, and it's just like recipes that my dad has handed down for me from my grandparents on his side. It's a cursive handwriting index card kind of thing that's been photocopied on a piece of 8.5 by 11 copy paper. Hard to read, but like those recipes, it's very old world. It's ishes and pinches and... well, how long am I cooking it? Till it's done, kind of things. And her recipe has like notes. Cook till done.
Right. Notes from like her dad. The recipe clearly says, don't make in double batches. And then there's a note from her dad in like cursive, like up, that says, make double batch or double recipe for more. And you're like, wait what? One says, but don't.
Interesting.
Some of the ratios also were different from the couple batches that I made months and months ago. I'm like, oh yeah, I remember looking at this and going, yeah, okay. So I can, and then I had a Ted Lasso, his biscuits that he, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, I remember where I left off in this conversation. So Saturday after Christmas, we hosted Venus's side of the family here. I am outside on the Blackstone barbecue, cooking up brunch-ish stuff. Her mom's side and her grandpa show up, an aunt, uncle, in-law. And then shortly after, her dad and his wife, Mary, then show up. Now, I'm outside. You know, these are all family, but me is still me. So I'm making sure I'm staying busy, doing something that I'm comfortable with, and then I'll jaw as needed if someone comes to talk to me about something that I'm comfortable in talking about. So her dad obviously comes out because, dude, whatever, right, cooking. Oh, the guys end up all outside next to me.
With a beer in their hand.
Yeah, cooking on the Blackstone and the fucking barbecue. So I'm making conversation with her dad. So I start talking. He'll cook too. He cooks. Mary cooks. So starting a conversation, I'm like, oh, man. So your daughter says in order to get even better in your good graces, I need to make your family's shortbread cookie recipe. Knowing that he actually had a customer that made this cookie so that he's not making it. So it was like, I'm not going to get there anyway. I'm just trying to make conversation. What he may know about the family's shortbread cookie recipe. So we get into a huge conversation about the nuances, like in the old original Scottish shortbread cookie recipes. I have this long conversation with him about how I ended up down the rabbit hole Christmas Eve watching shortbread cookie YouTube shit instead of making, because I was going to then be like, look who's the favorite son-in-law. Here are some shortbread cookies to try. I didn't end up making any cookies. I was watching fucking YouTube shit all night.
Yeah.
I then rinse, repeat the same conversation with his wife, Mary. Same thing, except she cooks cookies too. She does kind of like Venus. She'll make holiday cookies. Historically, I get a tin of thumbprint jelly cookies for my birthday from her. So cookies, we have a conversation there too. Except it noodles her into, I should make some too. So we end up giving each other some tips that, let's make the cookie. Only to find out that once Venus went over there to work on the Tuesday after, apparently I'm in a bake-off.
Oh.
Yeah, it's contest mode now, baby.
Oh.
I'm like, well, that's not what I was going for.
Right.
I don't need to fucking put. I was not trying to measure dicks.
Right.
But if we're gonna measure dicks, because once everyone left, I then made a batch of shortbread cookies that I used. I just cookie cutter, just made rounds. Right. So, I had Venus. I sent a picture to Venus. I'm like, send this to your dad and Mary's. Be like, I made the shortbread cookies. Feedback I got from her dad was, well, those aren't the triangle ones, because there's a pan, like a shortbread cookie pan, where you almost serve them in pie slices.
Okay.
It's like a small slice of pizza.
Yeah.
But a shortbread cookie.
Yeah.
And I went, okay.
There's supposed to be a triangle?
I'm like, okay. And then she comes back and after the Tuesday and says, apparently you're in some sort of bake-off with my dad and Mary about shortbread cookies. And I went, and that they're not in triangles.
That's news to me.
They're not in triangles. And I went, well, if we're doing this, and on Amazon, I'm like, I'm buying a goddamn triangle shortbread cookie pan. I'm going to serve this shit up. Anyway, It was quite funny. So now I'm in a accidental shortbread cookie bake-off.
Yeah.
So there we go.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's fun.
You like shortbread cookies?
I do. It's one of my favorites, actually.
It's one of the few things where
they're so simple.
I don't have, outside commercial shortbreads, I don't really have.
I don't have a lot of experience.
I don't have a
barometer.
Yeah. I'm like, this tastes okay to me, but I don't know what. Oh shit!
Yeah, I haven't had a homemade shortbread cookie, first of all, that anyone's made, so I wouldn't know. I've just had like the Chessmen or whatever from Pepperidge Farms.
Yeah, right.
And I dig that. Now, I haven't had any where someone's made it and I've eaten it and gone, oh shit, that's insane.
Right.
But I'm sure that's out there.
Right. So
you know?
she went over there today's Wednesday. She went over there yesterday. The batch that I made on Saturday was for them. Like, here, try these. You tell me what I'm missing.
Is it good or not?
Is it good or not?
Yeah.
Only to then know that I'm sending them something that was like my first shot salvo kind of thing. Like, all I need to know is if I'm close or the consistency isn't there. They sweeter, too sweet, salty,
undercooked, overcooked.
Right.
Yeah.
You tell me, I'll tweak based off that because I have no barometer. I have no, I'm sending them something where they're like, fuck. Okay. So now.
Damn, he's really doing it.
Don't tell him. Fucking shit.
Oh, we're up against it.
Yeah. God damn it. Bent over the table.
Yeah.
Like, loser has to buy the other one a Bronco Raptor.
Speaking of baking cookies, I saw someone bake. I think it was a recipe I saw on YouTube or video of some kind. I don't remember where I saw it. Where they baked their cookies, and when they came out of the oven, they used the glass and they put it over the cookie and then circle it
to get a perfect. Yeah.
And I had no idea that was a thing.
Oh shit, dude! Yes,
I didn't know. I had no idea. So I'm like, what is that all about? You know what I mean?
One of the cookie recipes that was pictures I sent you was like some famous New York chocolate chip cookie bakery.
I hope it wasn't Crumble.
They all they don't like ball up the cookie. They when they put it into onto the baking sheet, it's like crackly. So it almost looks like a scone or a Red Lobster cheddar cheese biscuit. Like it's
split.
It's got like craggles, like cliffs and peaks and spikes. Like it. So it doesn't look round per se.
Yeah.
And it's moundy but like spiky. And so you like almost break it apart like a small biscuit. So it's and the peaks and valleys like give it more caramelization of the cookie. There's crispy and chewy,
right?
All in like a thing. And I'd never really seen a cookie that wasn't round. Like you get your mounding is different, but this was. You like take a handful of but you scoop out the batter, and how it breaks off from the rest of the thing, you just kind of put it on and then leave it.
So whatever craggles the broken dough separation creates
100% that, okay. And then you just leave that up to the thing, and however it settles is how it settles to give you a specific surface texture that's abnormal, irregular.
Huh, interesting.
Yeah, crazy.
I will say one of the cookies I like to make it's a family recipe called Western Range cookies. They're really good. And this year I struggle with this recipe for several years. And this year I realized what the problem was. And it comes down to the recipe is a family recipe. Mm-hmm. And there aren't any sort of instructions.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just like a list and then bake at 350 or whatever. Mm. And so literally that's what I would do. Throw it all in and mix it all up. Mm-hmm. But there's a lot of really dry ingredients in this recipe, like oatmeal, Rice Krispies, flour, of course. Mm-hmm. All that stuff's really dry. Mm-hmm. So I had made already chocolate chip cookies. And I'm like, there's something to this. The fact that you're taking one bowl and putting your dry ingredients in it, and then you're starting your wet ingredients and then adding slowly your dry stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so I did that with this recipe instead of doing what I normally do, which is dump it all in and just mix.
Mm-hmm.
And they came out so good. I was super happy with how they came out. What a big difference so now it's like I have to, next time I make it, I have to realize what I did this year because that made a huge difference.
Well, yeah, I think too, when I was making the shortbread cookies and one of the variants of the chocolate chip cookies, some of these older recipes, there was no mixer. So I
don't use a mixer anyway.
Right. The activation of the flour gluten you're cranking on a mixer, you're going to get a different consistency of a cookie because you've perhaps overmixed it.
Right.
Your grandma probably had a wooden spoon and only could mix it so far before arm strength meant it's done mixing.
Right.
And you wouldn't over mix or activate the flour gluten because you couldn't go any further because your fucking arm was giving out.
And also it gets to the point where it looks done.
Yeah, it's done. Right. But if you're 3 minutes on a mixer at medium speed, you're
that's probably 10 times the amount of mixing you would do by hand.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So I feel like we could do a show just on baking cookies.
We probably could. We're definitely at time though.
Because it's such there's a feel thing about it. And even this year, I just make regular Nestle Toll House cookies. I enjoy that.
Yes.
But one of the things that gets me every year is I never have my butter softened.
Oh, yeah.
And I struggle with that because it's I forget about it. Then I go, fuck, I need softened butter. So then I'm microwaving it, trying to get it to soften in the microwave.
Right.
And what ends up happening is it gets too warm.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I bake my cookies, they end up spreading out too far and getting thin around the edges and stuff. And that bugs me because I know I can do better. And it's just because I didn't soften the butter instead of trying to soften it in the microwave. So I get frustrated with that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. One of the recipes I found. Fuck, we're at time. Fuck. Okay, fast. One of the shortbread recipes I found, and one of the topic things I was talking with Venus's dad and Mary about, was the using powdered sugar, because powdered sugar will disperse better in the flour than refined sugar.
Yeah.
And so a lot of the modern recipes call for use powdered sugar. It's a finer grain. Except modern powdered sugar also has cornstarch in it to give it the consistency
that
yes. So the batter
is that all powdered sugars or just some?
I looked at Rayleigh's just to see if I could find something a powdered sugar that didn't have cornstarch in it, and I could not find it. There was the C&H brand, and there was some other organic powdered sugar in the raw or something like that brand. All powdered sugar variants I saw at Rayleigh's had cornstarch in it. So
you're right.
It tends to, that will alter if your recipe is supposed to include flour, butter, salt, maybe, and that's it, and sugar. And your sugar is just supposed to be sugar, but it has cornstarch. Well, now you're altering
the sugar.
How does the butter...
The sugar ratio is different.
Right. How do you... Right.
Yeah.
So it's probably not much because we're talking about powdered sugar, but
would powdered sugar, if it was just sugar and not cornstarch in it also, if you had powdered sugar, wouldn't that be more than regular sugar because you're filling every nook and cranny?
Right. Half a cup of powdered sugar more sweetness than half a cup of refined sugar.
Yeah.
You would, as long as the cornstarch didn't make up for the space.
Yeah, in between the grains.
Perhaps. But
anyway.
But that would alter the consistency of the cookie.
Wow. Wild
shit, man.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Wow.
We're at time.
Wow. Okay.
Sorry about the hiatus.
I mean,
but you'll be fucking fine, Chandler.
You'll be fine.
You'll deal. In that.
What we're just here to tell you, you're okay.
You'll be fine.
You made it through the holidays.
Well, I mean,
if you're listening to this, you have made it through you're good.
Yeah, all 7 of you.
And we're here for you now.
We
weren't here for you last.
Return the cart.
2 weeks.
Yeah.
You should wash your ass.
Wash your hands. You gave me a freebie
Check
there.
your oil, Tony.
Stay up to date on your shots.
Make the call if you need to.
Register to vote.
Do the kindness.
Pick up a broom. We'll catch you next week.
Thanks for listening, everybody.
Yeah, well, you will catch us next week.
We'll be here next week.
We'll be here next week. Bye.
Have no fears.